Assalamualaikum, very good morning to all of you. So welcome back to our class for today. Basically for this week, we're going to do recorded lectures that you can see through YouTube channel. So basically, we're going to continue a bit on what we have learned from the last week on the learning style among the learners that they want to perform motor skill performance. So basically, at the first model that we're going to discuss for today, so basically we're going to discuss the first model that was proposed by Fitz and Posner. Fitz and Posner consists of 3 stages model, and then the first stage is known as the cognitive stage. So basically, when we talk about cognitive stage, this requires a lot of thinking by the performer. So basically, if you are new to any skill performance, we can consider as you as under the cognitive stage. So basically, during the first stage of learning, the learner requires a lot of effort in order to perform the skill, and then the learner also will try to learn what to do. Let's say if you ask them to do kicking a ball, for example. If the person is new to that task performance, they will try to look carefully to the object. They will try to look carefully to the target, for example. They also will try to do the skill with high degree of attention. So when we talk about attention, means that in their attention capacity demand, there are nothing else that comes to their minds except doing the skill, for example. So it means that during the first stage of learning, we as a coaches cannot disrupt their performance by giving many instruction so that they are able to direct their attention to perform the skill very well. So basically, during the first stage of learning, the performer will perform the skill with large numbers of errors. So that's why large numbers of errors. So that's why we can see their performance in the first stage of learning will be performed with a lot of variability in terms of body performance. And then if they are able to perform the skill in a very good effort, we can see a very fast improvement in their skill learning. And then last but not least, for the first stage of learning, for example, the learners will try to develop a motor program in their memory structure on how to memorize and how to perform the skill based on the procedures of how to do the skill correctly. So let's say if the first task of the learning task that they need to perform, for example, they have to do kicking, for example. So it means that in their memory structure, they try to develop their own motor program. They will try to develop their own schema on how to do the skill correctly. So this schema will be developed if they receive enough instruction by you as a coaches, and also if you provide them with some learning modalities. For example, if you provide them with demonstration on how to do skill, and then if you provide them some feedback in order for them to perform the skill correctly, for example. Alright, we're going to move on into the second stage of learning, which is on the associative stage. So basically, on the associative stage of learning, this is the second stage of Fitz and Posner 3-stage model. In the second stage, the learner will try to refine the skill. Let's say in the first stage, for example, they will try to perform the skill with a large number of errors, basically gross errors. So during they enter the second stage, we can see they knows how to refine the skill. Means that the skills become smooth, for example. They also will try to refine a particular movement strategy in order to solve some problems during skill performance. Performance is less variable and more consistent. Cognitive monitoring decreases. So which means that they can perform the skill without a lot of attention capacity demand. And then they also will try to improve the organization of the motor program based on the way they try to learn the skill, the way they improvise the skill performance. This under the second stage of learning, which is on the associative stage. Now we're going to move on into the last stage of learning under Fitz and Posner 3-stage model. We have the autonomous stage. If you put a scale on your far right left on the scale, for example, you put a novice. In the middle you put intended performer. At the end of the learning continuum you put as skilled performer. So basically for skilled performer, they lies under the autonomous stage of learning. So basically, if the learners is considered under autonomous stage, Basically, they will become proficient performer. Means that they can perform the skill without any errors, or without large errors, or with less errors, for example. Okay, means that if the first stage of learning, because of they have to look to many variables, they have to think a lot, for example, okay, they will use a lot of energy demand. But when they move into the last stage of learning, okay, they will save their energy because of they don't have to think a lot. Okay, attention demands are greatly reduced, okay, because of their eyes no need to look to so many variables anymore. Okay, movement and sensory analysis begin to become automatic. Okay, which means that they can perform the skill with less conscious thought, and then they can perform the skill automatically, able to perform multiple tasks. Okay, they can scan the environment. Let's say when you play football, if you observe your idol sport performance, for example, okay, when they dribbling the ball, they can use their head to scan in order to see where is their teammate, okay, where is their target, and where is their opponent, for example. So basically, if you can compare your self performance right now, for example, if you know how to drive a car, during the first time you drive a car, you don't want any interference from instructors. Okay, you look at the you look at the steering very well. You look at the gear. If you want to move the gear, for example, if you want to turn on the signal, you have to look where is it. Okay, if we compare to you right now, for example, during driving, okay, you are able to drive a car, okay, while chatting to your friend, for example. Okay, when your handphone ring, for example, you are able to answer the handphone by using hands-free escape, for example. So these are the things that occurs to you when you move into the last stage of fixed and Posner three-stage model. And then what is the best thing under the last stage is that, okay, you are able to detect your own errors, and then you know how to improve any errors that you perform. So basically, if we want to relate, okay, the fixed and Posner three-stage model, okay, to Ericsson study, for example, if we want to move from the cognitive to into the integrated stage, into the autonomous stage, it will take about 10,000 hours of practice time, or 10 years of practice time. Alright, class. Okay, our class is until this slide for the day. So I hope all of you can learn and can understand, and also can remember the important things that we have under fixed and Posner three-stage model. Thank you.